You already know why we're here. We're taking a look at the top 5 free first-person Steam games you don't know about.
Look at all those
Free first-person games.
Games aren't in any particular order. Angry comments about this being an unranked top 5 list may vary.
FrostRunner is a platforming game where you have the ability to hookshot yourself around. It's focused on speedrunning and getting the best time in each level. The game starts off simple, teaching you the basics of moving before introducing levels with the tether mechanic. This was the most enjoyable mechanic of the game, as you can link together multiple tethers and jump while the tether is pulling you in order to fling yourself into the air. There is also ice that is obviously slippery and red spikes that you have to avoid or else you die. The controls felt super good since character movement was weighty and momentum based. It makes moving super satisfying because every mistake and success is of your own doing. At the top of the screen there's a timer goal you have to beat in order to get the achievement for that level. There's also collectibles you can find in each level, and if you get all of them in a given chapter, then you unlock the insanity level for that chapter, which is a bonus extra hard level. The game is super short, rolling credits after about 30 minutes, but that's not really the point of the game. There's still collectibles to find, insanity levels to beat, and time to shave off levels. I recommend FrostRunner to everyone because of how polished it is. If you want to learn speedrunning, I highly recommend this game as it's short yet skillful. Perfect Vermin is a game where a man tells you to exterminate all of the vermin creatures on every floor before the timer runs out. It's pretty self-explanatory. The challenge comes in locating the vermin. The floors are filled with various office-themed objects, but the vermin are also disguised as those objects. This turns the game into a spot the difference sort of experience, where you're looking for out-of-place objects that don't make sense in the environment. If something is clearly out of place and you smash it, you'll be rewarded with a smushed vermin. I love its darker themed voxel graphics, and the destructible environments are always satisfying to break. The levels change up throughout the game, with one being upside down and another where you play 2 levels at the same time, for example. As you progress through the game, this ever-worsening smoking man is urgently telling you to exterminate the vermin. You find out why he's so adamant about killing the vermin at the end of the game, which I won't spoil. The story is essentially a playable metaphor as to why people shouldn't smoke.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
It's only 20 minutes long, but the message it gave me was well worth the playthrough. If you like destructible environments or games that leave you with some sort of impactful message, then I highly recommend Perfect Vermin. Neon Boost is set in a neon-covered sci-fi world. You're tasked with platforming across 36 different levels set in 3 different worlds. You're armed with a rocket launcher that you can rocket jump with, or blow up walls that are in your path. You also have a wall run and slide ability to help you make it through the levels. Each of these abilities aren't unique on their own, but Neon Boost ties them together with its level design to make for a very satisfying experience. The levels are designed in a way to make use of all of your abilities chained together. You're constantly on your toes figuring out which abilities you need to use when in order to make it through. Each world has unique hazards and obstacles to that world, making each one feel different from the last. This allows for some gameplay variety, as you have to figure out how to deal with each new hazard you encounter. Every level has different medals you can earn based on the time you get in that level. This causes there to be a good incentive for players to go fast, since you have to at least get the bronze medal time in order to unlock the next level. The instant respawns combined with the fluid controls makes for a very polished experience. If you mess up, you only have yourself to blame since the controls are so tight. It's up to you to figure out the best path to take for a given level and then execute that plan perfectly to get a good time. It's a very satisfying gameplay loop. The synthwave soundtrack in this game is very good as well. The music starts when you move, so you feel like you're controlling the music in a way. This gave me the feeling of the game revolving around me and my actions. Its upbeat pace and sci-fi elements really match with the fast-paced futuristic neon retro style the game has. If you're in the mood for a relatively lengthier game, sitting at about 1.5 hours compared to the others on the list, I recommend Neon Boost for its satisfying chaining of abilities and methodical first-person platforming. Red Trigger is a puzzle FPS game where you solve puzzles using your gun that moves these pre-placed red platforms around the level. You get 3 charges with the gun before it runs out of energy. You can move platforms back to their original position in order to regain the energy that you lost. Thinking of how much energy you have and how you'll use the platforms to progress is the basis of the gameplay. The platforms can be used to cross gaps, block doors from closing, launch you across a level, and block lasers so they don't kill you. Even though the puzzles are pretty easy at first, I always felt satisfied when I figured out the solution. The puzzles ramp up in difficulty as you progress, but never to the point of frustration. The beginning puzzles take place in a single room before opening up into bigger environments. There's a nice variety in the types of puzzles as well. Some of them are timed events like these lasers that chase you upwards as you figure out how to escape quickly, and then there's also more methodical ones like this laser maze. The puzzle design was varied and ramped up in difficulty perfectly. Despite only being around 45 minutes, the game felt like a full package and accomplished what it set out to do. It kinda gives me Portal vibes, but in a fresh new way, so if you like those games, I'm sure you'll love Red Trigger. The Call of Karen is a simulation-style game where you perform various housewife tasks. Sounds boring, right? Now do that while being attacked by Cthulhu. The game starts out very normal. You make breakfast, set the table for dinner, clean up the living room, that sort of thing. As you play, you'll hear the radio announcer say things to help you get through your day.
Now, what's a good Christian woman like you doing out of the kitchen and on America's airwaves?
As you keep repeating these tasks over and over, things start getting weirder and weirder as Cthulhu invades your home. You still do the same tasks, they just become harder as objects are floating around everywhere and things start to change. The characters reflect this changing environment too, as Karen no longer thinks she's hallucinating.
Hey, whatever entity is doing this, please stop. I don't need any more cleaning to do.
And the radio host seems to be possessed by Cthulhu at certain points.
And 5 down is Cthulhu for target area. Those are the answers to yesterday's crossword.
Your neighbor even gives you some sort of holy book claiming she had similar problems in the past. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the story. Listening to the radio host every day gave me more information and it was just funny in general. Hearing Karen's internal monologue made me more attached to her, listening to her talk about her thankless family she never sees, but in a comedic way.
I should start cooking for the entity in the house. Maybe it will appreciate my cooking.
The daily chores can get pretty repetitive, though new elements are added to try and shake things up. The story is what carries this game for the most part, and it's a short playthrough at about 45 minutes. If you're in the mood for an absurd, funny game with a satisfying story, then I recommend The Call of Karen. Those were the top 5 free first-person Steam games you didn't know about. Hopefully at least one of those look like something you'll check out, or else I've failed.
You freaking frick!
If you're looking for more free Steam games you don't know about, I'll have my free Steam games playlist linked in the description down below. And let me know if you ended up getting any of these games down in the comments. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.